Okay, so I am back with my Forsen run on the Witch, where I can do each area only once. And so I've completed everything. I apparently skipped the crop circle, which is very interesting. Maybe there was a bit of me doing one of the zones more than once, and for that reason I skipped some of the Ogham farmlands. I'm not quite sure. Actually, I'll have to go back and rewatch my former or last VOD. But I am going to head into Ogham Manor, and I did do my shopping last time. I do know that. So I'm going to head into Ogham Manor to go and fight the final boss. And while I'm here, I need to quickly check my stash to see if there is no socketables with none of this matters. I do have all of the gems that I plan on, I guess, using to choose before the boss. I need to choose what items to slot with sockets and put resistance gems in, or resistance runes in, because I need some extra resistances before the boss. And probably before the boss, I'm just quickly going to go over my considerations. I'm kind of slow. There's a lot of damage here. I'm going to need to brace myself, because in between me playing this game on camera, so to speak, and not, a lot of other things are going on in my life, and including playing a bit of Path of Exile on hardcore on non-solo self-found. And that is a different matter entirely, where you have extreme twink gear. This is not the same game. So having like twice or three times the amount of survivability has nothing to do with this kind of challenge. Yeah. I am going to farm this to the ground. If I can get to level 17, I won't mind. I guess kind of what would increase the difficulty on this, because I don't know how much the potential for respawning a checkpoint, how much that matters, and so I mean, what I guess what would increase the difficulty of this would be, on top of, you know, adding the different restrictions, that would probably be also adding, like, not a time limit or so, or as such, but a degree of speed run into this, where you have to go as fast as possible. You have to make a lot of decisions very quickly, and on top of that, you cannot sort of redo anything, or redo an area, or respawn a checkpoint to save your life or something else. That would probably be even crazier. To me, it feels a little bit like this is crazy enough, even if I'm taking it kind of nice and easy. I'm not stressing too much, but that would probably increase the difficulty. Generally, I'm only stressing as much in these kind of games where if I know the content well enough, I'm not worried. But if I'm, for instance, in some of the following acts, I'm going to need more time to think about a couple of things, at least if I get that far. it's very difficult to beat the staff at this level. To be fair, I mean the spell levels on the weapon is just crazy. If there's one item that I want to find in the early game, it's I forget what the name is, but the straw sandals that gives you extra movement speed and energy shield. Those would be great. That would kind of be the item that I would opt for. Forget if there's a checkpoint. There is no checkpoint. Oh well. I can sprint back. That's the least of my worries, I think. Yeah, because now I need to go and kill the fire boss, which I have 37 fire resistance, so I'm not worried like that. I mean, it's a tough boss with 0 gear, but still, I think it could be worse with less fire resistance. I've been killed by at least once every boss in this game, I think. Oh, did I forget to buy new flasks? That's a defining moment. That could probably kill me. I think that's actually going to kill me, and I need to strongly consider to bend the rules for that reason, because that's one of the things where, I mean, I can try without, but like without the best available flasks, that's a pretty problematic thing here. So I mean, I could make the argument that this boss counts as a kind of a boss, a little bit like the Lachlan boss, but it's a bit of a stretch, because then this boss is everywhere. But I actually do want to say that getting the last level, the last tier of flasks is pretty necessary, actually. I mean, you could. Those are level 16, so I guess it's okay. I guess I'm going to go with these. But so, because the last flasks are level 17 and so 16, and so if you go there, you have access to what you have access to, but you cannot guarantee that the new elixirs or the new flasks are going to give you the enhanced level or the increased level of hit points gained. So I guess it kind of it cancels each other out. Let's quickly see. These are the cold resistance boots. That's correct. Oh yeah. Yeah, you do need to keep things to sell it and whatnot. Cold resistance. Yeah, I think because there's also a physical component that the armor here with all of the added armor is going to be more valuable than 6 cold resistance, even if there's a bit of energy shield on. I don't have the energy shield nodes on the passive tree, so I'm not really an energy shield Andy just yet. guess that doesn't make any sense. So 90, so that's an improvement actually. So probably I should be. Let's see what we can do about this. There is one of these as well, Sapphire Charm. Okay, okay. Skill points. And it's the same problem here. I'm not adding, even if it's a great node, I'm not adding energy shield at this point. I could add mana regeneration. Damage taken recouped as life. Probably a bit of recoup is not too bad at this point. Could add energy shield just for the fun of it, but the energy shield is so weak currently, and so I just need something that works right now. So one thing I don't want to do is sprint and get heavy stunned. That I'm worried that that is something that can actually kill me in this challenge, because with all of the twink gear I get very confident, and I like to sprint, and I often get heavy stunned from that. And with all of the gear, that doesn't matter usually, and so that could be a problem for me. Oh my god. I wonder if that is a reliable drop. All of a sudden I'm like wondering if is that like a drop that's always going to be there in this dungeon, and I think I'm going to look out for that. That seems oddly plausible, but at the same time a little bit extreme, that I've never ever noticed that if that's the case. So the bedroom of the Count, or whatever that was, just contained a sapphire ring, which is the exact item that you want, and it even rolled with all elemental resistances. So that's the exact item that you want to see before Count Georgnor. It's the exact item you want to see. Bit of life would have been nice, but who cares? There we go. That means I'm actually going to have a very high resistance level for Georgnor, around 50% or something. I actually wonder if I have a regal orb. So I'm wondering if by playing by these rules where you only do each area once, I'm actually wondering if it's possible to get to level 18 before Georgnor. This is a level 15 zone, so at level 17 you get a lot less XP. But I'm wondering, because getting to level 18 would make big difference. And there's actually another thing. So during league start, what I would probably normally do in my first playthrough of this game would be rerunning this area in order to get level 5 skill gems, because those can drop here. And so level 5 skill gems, that would drastically increase the damage. That would drastically increase the damage that my character would do at this level. I have a level 4 skill gems, and then I have added skill levels, let's see, plus 2 levels from global modifiers. Oh, I actually do have level 5 bone cage. How is that the case? How is that the case? Must have dropped somewhere, or I don't know. That seems weird. Alright, boss time. Okay, let's get to it. So, bringing up all of the stuff. Oh well, that has a built-in problem, because it did not charge my. I did not charge it before. Refills at well. Maybe it refills in the fight. We'll have to see. I didn't quite think that through. Okay. The mana though is recharged now, because that's always something. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to spill all of my beans. I'm going to spend all of the stuff that I have. I'm going to equip cold resistance boots. So that's 52 cold resistance. I'm not going to use this anyway. Let's see. I don't think I need to identify these things. Doesn't matter. I'm going to add sockets to something, and that is probably going to be the armor, because I can add 2 sockets to my armor, and I can actually put in 2 cold resistance. That's going to give me 20, so that puts me at 75 cold resistance, which in this type of challenge I wouldn't consider this twice. I would just go for it. Then I can increase quality, which I probably will increase the quality of this, just because it doesn't have any special stats. It's just my heaviest one piece that actually provides something. And let's see. The Orb of Alchemy can be added to add modifiers, and this can be very good. So I'm going to enchant my necklace. That didn't do anything. And I'm going to enchant my ring. That adds strength or something. I didn't quite see what that added actually. It already had. I don't know exactly what the add was there, so we'll see. I can add 1 modifier to one of my items. This has all of its prefixes, meaning the stuff that adds damage, the extra damage, the spell damage. So I don't know. I don't remember what the suffix options are. Just going to add a thing to my ring. 9 intelligence. That's probably okay. Yeah, the ring is not too good. Didn't roll very well. Okay. But that's probably it then. Heading down to the fight. Hopefully I'm going to get charges. Oh, I don't need actually charges on the Sapphire Charm now. That's redundant. 400 HP. Let's see what happens. I'm going to trust. I need to trust that my bone cage, that the bone cage damage is going to be reliable enough. And without the movement speed, that's... I could have enchanted my boots at this point, but like... Timings of the dodges are just killing me. Alright, that was easy. I guess sort of a takeaway from this, maybe I can't say if what I've done here by accident is just very strong. Like I understand that the bone cage is unreasonably strong right now. But with the plus skill levels from the staff, of course the staff is extreme, like it's so good. Plus 2 skill levels is necessary. Spell damage is pretty much, I wouldn't say mandatory, is very good, but the gain damage is beyond crazy. Like gain damage in this game is crazy. So so I guess that's probably like 75% of the reason why this works so well. But the damage from Bone Cage was insane. Ridiculous even, okay. So double unique drop there. What the hell was that? The same ring drops. I've never seen this before. Wow. Okay, I don't know. Is that like 60 life? Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Welcome to the game. What kind of a drop was that? Jesus. Insane. So we're going to salvage and head into Act 2, where the game kind of opens up with a boss that's very nasty, but that's where the armor comes into play. I think this is a very lucky drop indeed, actually. I wonder if I should begin, because now I can actually disenchant my fire resistance ring, because this far surpasses. Don't know that I want to equip 2. I probably won't disenchant it right now. There's a socket I could equip somewhere, which I am going to do, but I do need to check actually for. I do need to check for new weapons and stuff here. Let's just sell this. Goodbye. Don't care. Yeah, I'm just going to keep these. No, am I going to keep these? We'll still just check. I don't know. I'm undecided. So the 4,000 gold, that's the baseline. That means I have 3,000 gold currently to buy for. Anything more than 4,000 is more than 3,000 gold. That's the limit because I had some carryover from the last attempt at this. So I'm not going to use more money, spend more money that I actually have, because I think that's actually going to make the challenge a lot easier, and I don't want to do that. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so armor, cold resistance. I mean, these are very bad, but 10. Yeah, I'm probably going to run with these. I should upgrade them because of the movement speed. Because alternatively,
It is good to see you.
I think at this point I need to start disenchanting. Let's see. Yeah, not enough. Yeah, since I'm not running to my, well, I do have access to my stash all the time in the next zone, but I don't think that I'm going to use that in any way. I'm going to stay in the zone and fight. I'm going to keep these runes because you never know. The support gems, I don't think I need to keep those. 28 life. 28 life, is that more valuable than all this jazz? For the final boss it is actually, so I'm going to keep that. And I want fire resistance here probably. My cold resistance. I'm going to keep these charms, because you never know what you're going to run into. Yeah, this is the setup. Let's head into Act 2. Oh yeah, one last thing though. Flasks.
I like to hold on to bits and pieces. Any that catch your eye?
Getting stabs, I think, with stays with spell levels and stuff, I think is going to get increasingly hard once you get into the further into the game.
Some shadows on display.
What you learn, a trail of corruption.
And so with this type of playstyle, what you also need to take into account is that you actually do need identification scrolls, even if they're super annoying. Okay, I'm at a deficit in lightning resistance. That is not very good.
So, the matter, Keth. Strong-minded women aplenty. I approve.
Where did I had a ring with resist all. Maybe that was on the fire resistance ring. Now I'm getting a little bit worried. Did I disenchant a ring with 4 resist all? What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Okay, this is bad. Anyway.
Time to show them what I can do.
And so I'm actually wagering. This is like the great thing about this. This is Georgnor being as easy as he was is kind of a good thing. One of the difficult things about this particular encounter is, for instance, well, of course, the boss of this area has some overhead smashes that deals a lot of damage and slams, but also that's of course that's a big problem. But he also has like rain of arrows from his friends, and the rain of arrows, that's a lot of small hits from physical, which I have a lot of resistance to because of my armor. So I do consider that to be an advantage. I actually do think, having played this game from 0.1, I don't remember getting this much XP actually. I think a big reason for this is the Abyssal Invasions here. The Abyssal Invasions adds a lot of monsters, it adds a lot of loot, it adds a lot of things. So all things being equal, the Abyssal Invasion is going to make this type of run easier. It's also like it's also a lot of more XP because you know monsters appear from the ground, and those monsters are close together. You kill them, they give you XP, and you know where they are. They're bunched together, and so the more close, like saturated an area is with monsters, the better. So that's going to add a lot of value for you in your runs. That you can actually just get a lot of XP here and just move on, whereas you don't have to hunt it all around the zone. Okay, so here are Greaves, new Greaves, and I'm very curious to see if they roll with life and speed. Let's see what they can offer us. Movement speed 15, 40 armor. This is a major upgrade of Another World. So goodbye energy shield, and hello. Hello, Sabatons. I'll probably add a socket into these. Look at this. With lesser iron runes. Didn't do anything. Oh well. Wasn't it? It was just pure armor. Yeah. So maybe if I add one of these. Oh, it already had the increased armor. That was a bit greedy and a little bit folly. Oh well. I'm pretty confident right now that it's not going to make any difference. I was majorly concerned with Georgnor, and now I know that a staff with the bone cage and enough power is going to kill him. And resistance, of course, is important. But I wasn't in any real danger at any point in that fight. Yeah, so I'm just porting back because I need to clear the rest of this stuff before I head into the Lion's Den. Physical damage recouped as life. Yeah, that would have been nice. 20% recoup on Fizz before the boss. I'm assuming that with this type of playthrough, even with a bit of luck on the drops, it is still going to be playing the mechanics. I think you need to play the mechanics when you don't have enough twink gear on your character. I think you need to play the mechanics on every boss. At least that's my guess. I'm imagining like the probably for me not the most difficult boss, but the most the boss I would be most worried about is going to be King Kong in Act 3 because of his slam. So surviving that fight is going to be like you either dodge the mechanic or you die. And I don't usually take the slam, but you know, famous last words. I don't need all of those elemental spells. So probably the next thing that I'll be interested in is switching to my expected spec, which is Bone Storm. And so there's a tech that I want to use in this playthrough. With the Bone Storm. We'll see what it is when we get there. We're done. Okay, bad boy. Let's go and see what the hyena boss has to offer today. Let's just grab some of these things. Probably having a wicked tiara is not going to be a bad base for trying to do something. I do want to switch to energy shield as soon as possible. But dealing with this boss before, I think it's actually going to be a very, very good thing, because he's just like, okay, well, let's go.
Up there, the leader of the pack.
And so the arrows there, those are he's pinned, and for that reason I skipped his attack. Or what was that? Quite sure I understand what's going on here. Seems a little bit like the pinning is removing his ability. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So the final strike of his 3-strike attack was skipped every time because of pinning. So the pinning mechanism of Bone Cage simply removed his attack. That was very, very odd. Okay then. Let's just loot everything. No reason not to. Let's get up. Okay, that was easy. Very, very easy. And a level 5 gem, thank you. And I should probably consider the Bone Storm now. Let's head up. There are a couple of things that I want to make sure that I have available with the Bone Storm. Probably I should try it out now. I'm going to equip Bone Storm. And so the gimmick with the Bone Storm currently is that I'm going to get rid of some. Wait, do I want to keep the firewall for this? I'll probably keep the firewall. I'm going to get rid of Frostbomb because that doesn't help me in the least bit here. Orb of Storms I need to get rid of. I'm going to throw some things into the stash real quick. Probably this is the wrong way to go about it. Let's get rid of the loot. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my luck in this run is just unbelievable. Thank you very much.
This could be useful.
Grand flask. Yes, please. So the grand is, yeah, that's the highest level right now. Thank you. I'm still looking at the staves. I'm not upgrading because this I think is going to be too difficult to get rid of for the foreseeable future. Alright, so Bone Storm goes in, Unearth goes out, let's get rid of that. Orb of Storms goes out. I'm going to keep Flame Wall because I think maybe it can be used for something which can be semi-interesting, but we'll have to see. So the gimmick is that you bring out your support gems, and you go to the Bone Storm spell, and you have to add an ability for it. So the ability that you have to add is a gem that's not in the baseline setup here. It's actually the multi-shot spell. So the multi-shot is going to, on paper, add a decrease in damage, a very hefty decrease in damage. But let's see how that plays out. And we don't want brutality, because brutality, it removes my elemental damage, which means that I'll deal 0 damage. So we will go into this. Quickly check for the physical. Wasn't quite it. Let's see. Arcane Search could be one. I think Rapid Casting is going to be the one. Yeah, let's just add Rapid Casting. Okay. We're still going to focus on the focus on the physical side, physical damage side of things. But I am enjoying having a bit of added utility there. The Frost Bomb loses its value because the Frost Bomb is about exposure and physical damage is not about exposure. So even if the exposure helps on the gain damage, that's valuable, kinda, probably is valuable. I don't know how much it matters. At least it's a nuisance to have extra abilities that I need to spend time on using. Okay. And the Crimson Amulet, I think we're going to charge those up if we get stuff for it. I'm going to park these boots. There we go. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah, and of course the well. I mean, this was an insane find. Oh my god, right? Ridiculous. I don't know what that means for the armor. I don't know if that negates the armor value. You take fire damage. Does that mean that all of the physical damage that I normally avoid goes into fire instead? I don't know what that means. It looks crazy. Like, this seems ridiculous. Seems ridiculous if it does what it says. Ridiculous. And the gates are starting closed. So let's head into the quarry. And so I just gotta say that the lightning resistance, that's scary. That could kill me for sure. But the fire resistance here for all of the stuff that I need to do, and the ring with all of the extra HP is ridiculous for this. Ridiculous. The quarry is probably one of the more scary places, I think, in the in this part of the game. The final boss there is super nasty. Okay, so here's the quick rundown of the Bone Storm. Let's take these out. Okay, here's the formation of the Bone Storm. Ready. That's about 3 seconds. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's add the multi-shot. 1, 2. That's like half the time, so it's or something like that. That's like 1.5 seconds. And let's add the speed. Done. 1. It's slightly the same. Maybe the speed, the multi-shot at least is the keystone for this. So it means I can actually use this to kill things. It's not going to take away the usage of the bone cage. The bone cage is still going to be key in all type of trash clear. But the bosses are going to be killed with a lot of the time with Bone Storm. I'm a little bit worried actually about the engineer, because the engineer at the end of this zone is a very small hitbox. So the remaining darts from the bone storm are actually going to go past the monsters. So the damage that it deals is not representative, because that's a summation of all of the small projectiles that it fires. But Bone Storm actually has a lot of interesting synergies. So one of the tags for Bone Storm is projectiles. Projectiles has a lot of nodes on the passive tree, in particular in the place of the mercenary and the ranger, of course. Those places. That's where there's a lot of stuff there. Oh shit! I need to pay attention. I don't want to miss the wisp. Love the scraps. Give me scraps. Okay, shit. So let's see what happens here. I can't tell if it makes more or less damage currently than my bone cage. But I do know that one of the issues with the Bone Storm is the hitboxes that they're trying to hit. So, for instance, a boss like Doriani has a very big hitbox. So Doriani is going to take a lot more damage from the Bone Storm spell than, for instance, Jamanra is, because Jamanra has a smaller hitbox. So there are those aspects, and I don't want to start using Bone Storm too early. I don't think it makes any sense. I'm not even sure that it's going to be that great until I get my third socket, where I can add more damage and tier 2 support gems. That's when things start to get more interesting. I'm just going to add more recoup, actually, physical damage. So that the fact that all of the physical damage that I take is going to be turned into fire damage could actually be. Is there something I didn't check up there now? No. On the minimap, it's forget it. Could be interesting. I don't know if that means that, you know, elemental damage that you take, if you take less elemental damage, because the big elemental hits are going to be. So I guess what I mean to say is the boss at the end of the quarry has a type of slam-like ability. That slam-like ability has a mixture of fire damage and physical damage. It's an explosion-like, and she hits several times, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And so that's what usually kills me in this fight. And she targets you, and she is very insistent. She's going to. It's like a rolling slam that keeps on going. So none of my attacks currently are going to be very nice. I don't have any cold spells. That's normally what she doesn't like. So I'm going to be in a bad position, and the bone cage is going to be a no-go. Using the bone cage in that fight is going to kill me for sure. So I do need some kind of other solution. Probably it is going to be the Bone Storm. We'll have to see. Either that, or I'll have to use my lightning bolt from the staff, which I don't want to. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll add my. Maybe I should add my my Ice Nova back in. Or not Ice Nova, I mean Frostbomb. We'll have to see. Actually, I don't want to. So adding physical damage resistance at this point through armor might be redundant in this fight, but everything else it's going to work for. Do want those augmentation right now. I actually want the other ones. God damn it. I think the added hit points from the unique ring that I found is probably the most crazy thing about the find. I mean, finding two of the same item at the same time is ridiculous, but the 60 plus hit points from a single item right now is insane for me. The damage that's thematic for this zone is physical and then fire spells, of course. Oh Jesus, I just stood in that one. This is like, I think this is now the seasonal mechanic is taking off, because now I'm facing the lightless mobs here, and those can be extremely cruel. Like, I don't know how much damage this guy does. If he gets to use all of his mechanics on me, I don't intend on finding out. So I'm being very careful. This is something I am very curious to see what's going to happen in the following patches. How much is this going to change the game for people who like to do solo SSF and whatnot? Jesus. What's this? That's the energy shield aura. Is that what's just breaks armor? Okay. Die. Oh shit! I hate those. But like, what I'm saying is like, yeah, I hate those. But like on the other hand, look at the XP for this. Look at the XP. Look at the loot. I get level 5 spirit gems. So I mean. Okay, we do have one of these. What should I add it to? I want a new flask. There we go. That was exactly what I wanted. Okay. There is that. that box up there that I didn't loot, and I need to loot that, but I need to find out how do I get. I need to go back there and loot it when I have more charges on my health thingy. Oh, well, just a level up maybe. Okay. Maybe I just add the recoup. Probably I'm going to respec. Just add recoup. I don't care. Elemental damage recoup. I just need recoup. I just need something that gives me a bit of sustain right now, and I can always respec out of it later. I don't know if you need to identify these, but probably not. 3 times, contain no other items. Let's go. So this is an example where the Bone Storm is going to work very well or not very well. I think depending maybe on the... I love the animation of these guys, like they're just filled to the brim with spikes coming out of them. Looks great. I need to identify a couple of these. Maximum life, armor, evasion. That would probably be good. I don't have enough dex, but adding more armor here would be great. Object task. I'm not going to keep. I want more than regal orbs is stuff that I can socket other things with. So things that involve sockets is going to be more valuable to me in the early game, because the power of runes is just undeniable early game. The ability to socket resistance runes into your gear for the various specific fights that you're doing is so important. I'm a little bit worried. Actually, a couple of bosses that worry me a little bit. Like, for instance, the Jaria boss, the one that gives you access to your first ascension. That's going to worry me a little bit, because according to the way that I want to play and the spirit that I want to play through, I need to go against that boss immediately. And that's a rough boss. And I have 0 chaos resistance, for instance. So, not that you would normally in any way have that at this point, but that wouldn't be bad. At least a lot more sustain or something. So I'll have to think about that. She's probably also an armor heavy boss. Maybe playing through most of the early game here with a lot of armor and not a lot of energy shield is the way to go, because energy shield is something that's very dependent on the right gear. So I am going to build for it, but it does require a very heavy investment. Oh wait, I forgot to go to town. I am going to do that, and that follows the, how much do I remember from this and that and the last run and the other and whatever, and so getting back into this after like more than a week's break is simply necessary to bend the rules a little bit in that favor.
Can't do that here.
Yeah, and I'm going to add these in here. So just having those white items that I'm probably going to enchant the second that I get my chance. Keeping the runes, at least those that make sense. I'm not going to keep these in my inventory. There we go. Not the runes either.
Keth, what's wrong? Yeah, this could be useful.
I'm just going to sell that. Goodbye.
I will tell
Who
your
goes
tale.
there? I only hope. Browse as long as you like.
Just getting an overview of what stuff. We do have something with chaos resistance here. Don't know if that could be relevant. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, it doesn't look that interesting. I don't want to gamble. I do not want to gamble.
Sans
Here for a
guide.
story.
Saga doesn't have any interesting items outside of this.
Welcome.
No. Okay, so was there anything that I wanted to do while in town? Do I want to add more fire resistance? Because there's no real reason not to. It's extra life and stuff, and I can add that. So I'm going to add more fire resistance and more life to my character. I think that's going to be great for the fight. Let's go back down. Just making sure that I've killed everything. There's always it gets a little bit interesting. So in some of these type of bosses, suddenly all damage shocks, and I thought I had killed this. But the shock effect is simply something that's going to always be dangerous, no matter what. Once you get that little lightning, the lightning effect on your health bar, that's when you want to just quickly take a breather. Let's just go and check. The arcane strongbox. So I do want to buff this. So I do need some kind of yeah. How do I do that? Oh well, we'll have to see if we don't get an orb before the fight, because the arcane strongbox, that's actually one of the strong boxes that you do want to juice up because of the chances of getting better orbs like exalted orbs or regal orbs or something. And all of that to me right now is extremely valuable. I'm not expecting any, miracle to happen when upgrading my gear, but the mere chance of it upgrading to something valuable is going to be worth it at this point. There's an essence here, it's an essence of flames. Forget what that is. I think it is extra fire damage. It's either on martial weapons or it is on martial weapons, I think. So it's not going to be valuable for me. But oh, a new spirit gem. Nice. Martial weapons, fire damage. So essence, I mean, essences can be a game changer. If I find an essence with something that is valuable to my specific class, like sorcery, which adds magical or increased spell damage on any item or something. I forget exactly what the item options are, but if I get that, for instance, and I can add that to a blue base that already has semi decent stats, already I'm golden. I'm already itemized. So right now my problem is that my character is not itemized in the least. Like, the items that I have do not correspond with the strengths of the character in any sense of the word. So a little bit curious to see if I'm going to get these crazy bosses here again. Okay, here they come. Okay, there we go. Level 2 support gems. Okay. I forgot that they already started dropping here. So I'm just going to quickly deal with this guy. Maybe just clearing the rest of this. Let's see how much recoup. Oh, we can't get to the final stage. That would have been nice. It's a little bit like I'm not picking defensive nodes which improve my energy shield because I don't have the energy shield for it, but then at the same time I'm spending my points on something else that gives me survivability, and like, who cares at the end of the day? You just need defensive layers that's going to keep you alive. That's probably, in my opinion, one of the coolest things about this type of game mode, or at least, I mean, not non-trade probably, and a combination of non-trade and league start mentality. Like, what do I have at the start of a league, and how quickly can I go through the game without, over-leveling zones, without, all those kinds of things. And obviously it is like 50% RNG, because what kind of loot do you get? Like, I got crazy items. I was so lucky this run. So, I mean, if you get that amount of luck, yeah, sure. But, like, I'm not assuming it, like, with the worst possible luck, if you're trying to do this, and with a class that's maybe less strong than this one, for instance, I think you could be really looking for a challenge. So I don't know what the most challenging class would be doing this. I mean, asking the speedrunners probably is a great idea, because the speedrunners know that's what they're doing, because they're weighing, they're always weighing like risk versus reward in terms of how much time do I spend doing this and that, and what do I need for this and that. And so it's kind of like that would probably be the best source of information. I do love the speed running. I really like it. It's great because it's a very pure type of challenge. It's about getting from A to B as quickly as possible, like with no rules basically. I do like that. It's very asynchronous though. It's very asynchronous. It depends on your class. It depends on so many things. Maximum life. Dex. Something about dex. Now let's quickly check the bone storm here. We have ricochet, brutality, and armor break. Breaks armor equal to 50% of the physical damage dealt by supported skill. That's probably not going to do it for me right now. The armor break. %50 more armor. Did I put in attacks and poisons enemies? So actually, this doesn't currently work. What was I thinking? 50% more armor. Does not armor break on its own. Alright, so I do need to change that socket out for something else. That's actually corrosion. Poison applied by supported skills breaks armor. There we go. Yeah. That wasn't too great. That was not at all what I wanted to do. Good luck, have fun. I mean, for a league starter with 0 resources available, this is extremely strong. This is a very, very, very strong build. I mean, I find it very difficult to argue against what just happened. And I'm not saying that there is not a bunch of builds that can do the exact same thing, but let's get back up.
How can I?
Yeah, I actually don't want those on this character, so why am I bothering? Bone cage. Just getting the upgrade here. We're just going to keep the sockets. Look at this. If that only had movement speed. Oh my lord. I'm going to put it in the stash for now. I'm still in this selling kind of mood.
This one. I will tell your tale.
Okay.
I've got some trinkets. I will tell your tale.
Still in a situation where the value of gold is much higher than the value of orbs. So having more gold right now is better than having the other thing. Because the vendors are going to inevitably get items that are just superior to what you're wearing. So it's that simple. But I was very lucky with my drops, so let's just move on.
I know it, but there is still a
you the blessings.
Creepers and crawlers in dark. How?
I actually don't remember if she has lightning abilities. I think it's only chaos. Now we're actually moving. We're getting into the area of where the lightning resistance is going to be a big issue. Because the next boss that we're going to be facing is the big boss that we're going to be facing is Jamanra, and he's the lightning damage boss. So if I don't have at least 25 lightning resistance at that point, that's going to be too interesting. So I think that's going to kill me, honestly. So I really need to kind of think about making sure that all of the stuff that I can identify that has lightning resistance, for instance, gets picked up. There we go. It's even something that I just need to equip right now, even. Doesn't hurt anything else outside of my armor a little bit, but like everything else, yeah, hit points, but like negative lightning resistance, no thank you. That was step one. Now I need to just find a topaz ring. Actually, a little bit worried about the betrayer. Like the level is going to be, she's level 22, but she has, her mechanics are like, she has some surprise slam like abilities. She has like a spear field ability that I don't like too much. I'm going to go for her, see what happens. I know the boss, but I've got to say that she's one of the bosses that slightly scare me a little bit more at this point. Bone Storm. Just going to check if the Bone Storm actually applies fire. It does apply fire, so I guess that's not too bad. So generally, one of the things that I dislike is spending too much time running around looking for monsters. And with what I've set up for this rule set is like what would be slightly more entertaining, if at all entertaining, would be to go and just do the zone. Oh, there's the boss. Then we go for the boss. That's probably how I would play softcore. I guess I would just like, okay, well, that's the boss. Okay, we head in, and then we do or we die, or we do or we die, and then probably we do, and then we just move on. And if we die, well, we do it again, and then we still do. So I don't think I would be spending any time hesitating about anything. I would just plow through the game. Because even if you die once, like, who cares? But that's not quite the same in hardcore.
None can oppose me.
But as with so many other games, a lot of these the things that goes on when I play is based on knowledge. Yeah, when I die, that's a knowledge check, for instance. So for instance, all of these various monsters can be very, very tricky and nasty to fight. But once you know how to avoid their specific mechanics, it becomes a little bit like the muscle memory takes care of everything. You don't really think about what's going on. You just do it and move on.
No.
See, lightning resistance. I think. I think I need to equip these. Maybe not now, but maybe at the next boss. Maybe I do need to make some kind of at least semi-transition into something else because of the lightning resistance problem. Because lightning resistance is going to be a major problem in Jamanra. I mean, he has mechanics, so there's those. The mechanics are, of course, you can deal with the mechanics, but the lightning damage he deals, no matter what, it's if you have enough damage, and I think I do, I can most likely bypass a lot of his mechanics. Oh, and I do have the Riku there, but it's the big hits I think could be dangerous. And Jamanra for me is that the kind of boss that I've been struggling with him in patch 01, so a lot of fond memories from the first rendition of the early access of this game, fond memories, and then yeah, and then following that you get all of with the knowledge and a good starter build, deal a lot of damage, you just plow through those parts of the game. But like there was a time where Jamanra was like crazy difficult to me, and so I still attribute a lot of that to resistance, the resistance issue. What's going on here? Is this like... Okay, so this is the way to the Betrayer, and then the other thing is the way to Halani. Okay. Now I have the checkpoint, so I should probably head back and find the other place, and then port back to fight the boss. That's a crazy map layout. Oh my god. But maybe I get to a point where when the campaign becomes easier and easier and easier, and the RNG of loot and whatnot becomes slightly less dominant. See, there's also a checkpoint over here. What in the world? Oh wait, that was the bell. That's the bell. That is the bell chest. Yeah, got it. But once I get some better grip on the campaign and we have everything down, the campaign and everything else, probably adding more restrictions would be great. Like, for instance, when you find the entrance to something new or something else, or there's a boss fight, you have to do it immediately. No beating around the bush. So I'm just quickly going to go and grab the waypoint, which I accept as legal. There we go. I think maybe I'm getting a false impression of my old survivability / power here. But I think the armor plus whatever what I have going right now is actually going to be good enough for this fight. She doesn't deal any cold damage, so this is basically like we're heading in and maybe dying. We'll see. Let's go. That's it. Oh well. For sure the value of my current power level has a lot to say here, because I mean it's a little bit like the whole idea behind this particular build is the bone storm, and from what I'm seeing, I'm not far off. The Bone Storm with the multi-shot gem changes the game. It seems like a downgrade. It feels a little bit like, it feels counterintuitive. How does it work that a multi-shot gem it's actually, I can not even equip it currently. That's odd. Is that because I'm on low decks? It's because of the corrosion. Oh well, I could probably respec that bit, right?
How can I perfect myself?
So I could respec it into one more dex. It's going to change it. But that combination, there's something in that mechanic that just works for whatever reason.
Can't do that here.
Okay. Do I have other socketables? I have cold, I have iron runes, I have more mana, I have stats. Dex right now probably wouldn't be that bad. So one more rune here would be okay. I can add. I'm just going all out for my sockets. Let's see what she has to offer before I make a rash decision here. Don't need any of those, so just popping that in there. Wish I had lightning resistance runes. I really do.
take your time.
I need to look through these, particularly the glove slot, which is completely redundant for me right now. There's a headpiece with lightning resistance. I think I do need to grab that. Honestly.
You are battle ready.
And changing into energy shield might be the play. Depends on the amount of money that I have available for it. Lightning resistance and lightning resistance. That's let's see where we go, where we end up here. 13. Focus is a one. Like the essence here is going to be great when I get something that I need to build. Jamanra is weak to cold spells, but I don't think he's particularly great at resisting physical. Let's just build these. No.
Careful story. Stay inside.
The question is, do I have enough energy shield so that I can actually build like a healthy... Because if I change these around, what happens? My armor disappears. He's not a very armor heavy. He's not a very physical damage heavy type guy. This at the beginning. It's not. It doesn't influence my hit points. So if I go and rebuild those 6 points into 30, 58 energy shield here. Am I going to be able to do something with? No, I'm not. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to keep the sets here. I just use these for the Jamanra fight. I don't think I have any advantages. I don't think there's any advantages of respecking at this point. I'm not strong enough gear wise for that. All spells. It's pretty good. Yeah. Do I want to gamble for the topaz ring? That's the question. Where is she?
Quickly, I can wait.
So that's going to give me 3 rolls? No, 2 rolls of rings. And that would be gambling for a lightning resistance ring. You know, and that gamble can happen just as easily on the just as easily on the next visit here, because I do need because that's the end of I'm heading into Halani now, and that ends up with the fight with the boss. So I am going to gamble for the ring
I
now.
can wait. Well, I wish you well with this.
And I don't know what the odds are. I do not know what the odds are. I don't know what the odds are actually. From bleeding, it's only bleeding. It's going to take away my health pool, but this is going to give me a decent, probably, I don't need lightning resistance just now. Intelligence, strength, dex, intelligence, fire, lightning. So 2 topaz rings straight off the bat through gambling. I don't know what the odds are. I don't know if that's rigged. Or maybe it's maybe it's slightly rigged. Jesus, I don't like any of this. Let's head into the next zone. But having, for instance, the dual unique ring with all of the fire resistance, that's something that I can basically use that for any fight that involves fire only focus. And that's kind of, you know, you equip that and you're just good to go on any boss that has fire damage only. And physical maybe. So like as long as none of the other elemental spells or elementals are present, you know, who cares? Let's see if she bugs. No, so this NPC usually bugs out for me in this particular scenario. When I get to past the forward command tents, she disappears, and I need to either respawn at checkpoint or do something else in order to get her to respawn. But I'll make a very safe play to see if I can avoid that situation altogether. Exalted Orb. I actually love those transmutation orbs at the moment. Just give me transmutation orbs. I don't care. I don't care about the exalted orbs. It's a little bit like, so if you think about crafting as a series of steps where no matter if it's the first step or if it's the last step, you have the chance to get some of the stats that you want for your build. If you think about it that way, having a lot of exalted orbs to slam rare items into stronger rare items is not really going to do much for you if the stuff that you already had on there is really bad. So like if you think about it that way, making a new item from scratch is just as good as slamming a rare item in terms of net value. That doesn't mean that I don't want to slam this through. And I think that added intelligence. Could have added oh, there we go. Jesus. Wow. Now I just need a rune, a lightning resistance rune. That's all. Yeah. I'm really curious to see how far the Bone Storm without really strong added. I mean the staff, obviously my staff adds so much damage, but I'm really curious to see when that kind of falls off, and if it falls off without the proper abilities on there. I think I'm going to go. What normally happens is that she disappears right after fighting the person at the tent. So I'm going to try to have her help me with opening the gate here, and then I'm going to go down and fight the optional boss. Come on, Asala. Okay. I'm still in the let's just get more. Oh, evasion energy shield. Okay, that's good. In the let's get more sockets club. I think the sockets in the early game is just they're superior, in my opinion, to anything else that you could possibly enhance your character with. I mean, obviously you need sockets to do something, but sorry, runes to do something. But the runes are just such a powerful, extremely absolute deterministic way of improving your items to suit a specific need. The pinning is kind of lol. Pinning mechanism is very, very good. Because it does give a bit of a defensive layer, right? Because I pin a lot of things and they don't act. It's not as good as Ice Nova, but it's definitely feels strong. Do I get to level 23 before the boss? We don't know. Ooh, Essence of the Body. I'm always careful when fighting Essence bosses because Essence bosses always Essence rares always have like a boss mechanic, like an end zone boss mechanic. For instance, the one that I just fought has the ultimate ability of Georgnor from Act 1. So it lets down these beams with, I don't know, physical chaos. I have no idea what the elements are, but like they are very, very dangerous when fighting Georgnor. And so some of those mechanics can just be super nasty when fighting against random rare mobs with a lot of other stuff going on. So I'm very, very careful there. Ah, jeez. It looks a little bit like I'm not getting my level. Okay, then. Did I clear everything out? I did. Okay, let's suit up. Let's suit up. Let's see. So there's the lightning resistance. I mean, I could add. That's energy shield here. If I use this, I'm getting less energy shield. But I actually could give it life. So that would add. It's kind of a waste, but kind of also interesting. Life regen per second. So I actually do want extra life. Yeah, I think that's better currently, even with the reduced lightning resistance. And then we add that one, 22. Yeah. And then we add the lightning resistance from. There we go. 44. I think that's better. The resistance is good enough, and I just need more life. Is that fire damage? Where is she? Where is she? Oh, she's here. She's below him. Lol. Okay, it worked. It wasn't completely pain-free because he does have a physical component. He does seem pretty aggressive with it. Oh, it's inverted. It's the hardcore SSF is inverted. That's funny. It does seemed a little bit more dangerous in that. I mean, the fire damage was obviously something I didn't account for sure. So that could have been very deadly without any fire resistance. I had that, so that was good. Don't know how to manage the resistance game at this point. I don't think I want any of this. I just want to upgrade my bone cage. Currently this, I think this is slightly better actually. 30 life, 40, 24 life, armor evasion. I want to do that. I think probably using a. I'm going to put this into my bank because this is definitely going to be better than the alternatives when we get around to it. It's a little bit of micromanagement. I'm going to get rid of this. Also going to get rid of this. I'm not going to use it. Going to get rid of these rings. Keeping this one. Keeping all of that. Putting that into the bank. Let's just quickly check if I can currency up some of these. End shield, that would be interesting if it rolls something of value. It doesn't. Okay, I think I'm going to just put this to rest right now. I'm just going to suck at this one. And I do need to think about getting a regal orb. Just going to put this into my bank here. Don't think I need these. I'm not going to get a better headpiece than I already got from that random drop. Okay, so already at this point I gotta say, like, Act 1 of course is very dangerous and getting started is very hard because of itemization, but right now I'm in a situation where I'm in a good spot. I can easily still die. I'm going to pick through the options here. And the considerations are that the Titan or the Colossus has a lot of different elemental spells, and so the Colossus is going to be a very tricky, or at least very dangerous encounter to deal with. So that's consideration. That's my first consideration. It has cold, lightning, and fire damage at the same time. So how do I deal with that? That's something that I need gear for. The Colossus, I think, is going to be the most difficult fight for me. Of course, maybe the mechanic of the Bone Storm is going to be superior because he has a huge hitbox. So I need to consider those things, but I'm still semi-worried of that fight. Then the other consideration is the Mastodon, the boss fight with the wizard or whatever, and the mammoth. That's a physical damage fight and a lightning damage fight, and that's a bit of a struggle as well. Getting access to the lightless passage and getting the option to desecrate things is nice, but I don't need to do that before I actually get things to desecrate with. So I don't want to go down there just yet. I think the Keth option is the best. It provides the free +2 skills at the first boss and the first zone, and moreover the final boss of this zone is a fire damage boss, and that is what I am geared for. So Keth is the obvious choice for me, with all things taken into consideration. I'll have to stop the stream in, I think, in around 15 minutes, so I'll see how far I get. I'm not sure that I'm going to be getting to more than the original or the first zone. I think probably heading into the bird shrines is not something I can do. Also, this area has, when making this choice, this area has 3 separate zones for XP. It has Keth, it has the first temple, and it has the buried shrines. So it's did I actually I never went back and finished the strong box in the Mawdun Mine. Come to think of it, I never went back and did that. That's why you need to carry around those orbs, so that this doesn't happen.
An old prize, locked away, not for long. That was worth the effort.
I'm a little bit angry at myself for letting that one go, the the strong box with the orbs, because then the odds of getting regals and exalted orbs are just, no matter if I end up squandering the orbs of exalted orbs away because of, you know, poor choices, it's still better to have one more modifier on your gear than one less. When you're about to fight a boss that could kill you, then you don't care. You just want another modifier. Apart, of course, from very specific considerations, you want the more modifiers. Okay, so should I just go and enchant these? Probably yes. Extra decks. I could also have enchanted the new amulet. That would have been better. Also, in the Keth encounter, I'm actually getting another ring of my choice. So I can go and pick like a cold resistance ring, a lightning resistance ring, what I need. And so that is probably going to be very valuable, well, in terms of fighting the Colossus. Does take a little bit long to channel this. I'm a little bit worried that something has gone wrong. Channel time is better now. Something has happened. So let's go. I don't understand this mechanic. You just dodge out of the circle. And the specialization book. Okay, so now we're at a decent point where I can consider what to do. I do get a jewel, but do I want to go for the jewel socket? Well, probably I want more. I want to go, this is normally I would go for the energy shield. Getting crit on your spells is also not half bad. Getting extra cast speed is not too bad. It's too expensive though currently, so though normally those 3 choices would be easy peasy to decide for, but it does require me to kind of, yeah, so I need to think about what to do. Elemental damage, not worth it. Area damage, no. More area of effect, yeah, sure, but no. Remnants, no. Critical strike damage bonus, yes. 1, 2, 3. So that's a decent cluster. It's a decent cluster, but it's not that good. When I'm going defensive, that's going to take up so many of my slots. I do think I want to go into this position, even if this is very, very expensive. This is very expensive, but I'm going to head straight into this. This way, with clearing everything, like I'm currently level 23 in a level 21 zone. I don't quite know how that. Oh, see, that's the heavy stun there. That was counting 1 out of my 9 lives. Is that another heavy stun? What am I doing? Okay, I'm going to stop sprinting right now. Jesus, that was 2 out of my 9 cat lives. And you can drink potions while being heavy stunned. That's the... I'm already sprinting again. Come on. Come on, dude. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. But I do have a sneaking suspicion that the sprinting is going to kill me. The odds of a new staff being valuable in any sense of the word is close to 0. So like what I'm looking for a potential replacement would be something like, no, not even, because I don't need the skill, I need only the stats. So like cast speed has to be on there, 2 spell levels has to be on there, a decent amount of spell damage has to be on there, and probably also, like, you can just look at the damage decrease here. Let's just try this out. It's like half the damage. This is a 5 stat. The point is, it's extremely difficult to upgrade your staff in this game, which is a shame. It's a huge shame that it's so difficult to upgrade your staff. Such a shame. Such a shame. I actually do hope that they deal a little bit with it. I mean, if you are playing a martial class, you can upgrade your weapon, and if the net value of the upgrade says more damage, you're good to go and you can move on. Whereas you can do the same with the caster, but the problem is that the stats are changing the power of your item to such a degree that it's not even funny. Like, let's say that, let's talk synergies. So if you have a weapon, for instance, it's a martial that has 100% extra damage as physical, for instance. And let's say that all of the gear that you currently are wearing, like rings and amulet, maybe not amulet, but rings and other slots, has added physical damage, meaning a flat added damage bonus to your physical attacks. The bonus on your martial weapon is going to make it so that the damage of those item slots with the added physical damage is going to increase. And so now the increased percentage damage on the weapon is going to be a huge deal. If you don't have those item slots, like rings and maybe even glove slot, probably with added damage, you can have a weapon with a lot of additive damage. So, for instance, a lot of added damage like fire, lightning, physical, all that jazz, all kinds of damage, but no percentage increase. And still, it's going to be better than the other thing you were wearing. But the point is, you don't care. You don't care one bit. You just equip the weapon. Oh, it's more damage. Oh, great. It's only in specific cases where there are some attributes on your weapon that you need, like added stun build up or something that ties into whatever it is that you're doing with your build. Like, let's say you want retribution or retaliation damage, or thorns damage, for instance. That's going to be relevant on your gear or whatever. But bottom line is, you just need more power, and the power is, it's very easy to check for that power. You just check, does my number go up? It goes up. Okay, great. Goodbye, old item. Hello, new item. But that's not the case for the casters. The casters, they can, of course, they can check if the spell is better, but there's a number of other things to consider. You need, first of all, you need to know. I mean, you need to. I mean, the damage increase on your weapon is largely from your added stats. So, a +2 to skills is going to carry you a lot farther than pure damage, for instance, or cast speed. The baseline damage modifier for your spell and all of the stuff that applies in your passive trees and whatnot is the rank of your spell. So the spell rank is the most important thing out of all of the modifiers that you're going for. And so the added damage there is the skill levels is going to be the primary thing that you want. But that's not enough. You also want a variety of things, and some are more important than others. It's so complicated to upgrade your weapon. I don't even know that I'm going to upgrade this staff before level 40. So it's really a huge difference. You cannot it's night and day comparing upgrading martial weapons to upgrading caster weapons. And then you have the problem with the implicit ability of the weapon. For instance, this one has the lightning bolt. The lightning bolt still kills things, but not as quickly as it used to because of the skill ranks. The skill ranks doesn't upgrade, they don't upgrade. So getting a higher level lightning bolt requires me to get a new staff with a higher level lightning bolt if I want that. And getting a higher level lightning bolt is going to be at the cost of skill levels or whatever, because I'm getting a new staff for that, rendering all of my other spells worthless. So I find it to be currently a bit of a shit show of what is going on. Did I forget actually going to town and dumping stuff? I did. I don't find this to be a sort of a breaking point in this, because I do need to fight a boss and whatnot, and I do need to unload. So I will go ahead and do this.
How can I?
That? Oh, that was an Arcanist Edge. Let's go. Oh wait, what does the quality? Oh, the quality improves the lightning bolt. That was it. Yeah. So that's redundant. That's redundant.
Here we are.
Strength, Int, and Fire Resistance. And here we have high mana regeneration, life per second. Let's do this. Cold Resistance, increased energy shield, increased armor. I think that's better. Let's quickly see. 30 HP down, 4 energy shield up. But then we get the cold resistance slightly up. Slightly more armor. I think that's better. That is better, for sure. Can keep the fire resistance on for the boss, but yeah, I need to get those back in. I cannot skip these. Oh yeah, I should have done my ascension before this zone. I just forgot. It's a little bit stupid. So do we want to add? No, we don't want to add this. Dex, int, armor, mana. I need to finish this zone because I have a meeting in a second, so I'm just finishing the Lost City here. Getting those resistance rings at this point in the game or even earlier is paramount to succeeding. If you have 0 resistance ring, I mean my probable success of this actually succeeding for me would be, I'm assuming, very low, like practically 0. Like 0 resistance rings, that just makes the game too hard. Fire resistance ring, cold resistance ring, all that jazz, it's just great. There are many advantages to having a lot of armor early game, because so many of these things are just dealing a lot of small physical hit and damage, and so that's the exact thing that armor is good for, right? So getting extra survivability against those things is just great. And Bone Cage just takes care of business in this part of the game. It's a level 6 Spirit Gem. Very nice. Okay, let's move on. I really need to hurry. Okay, up here. All these destructibles. So So easy to deal with. So much potential for loot. There we go. Is this it? No, this is not it. One of the major problems with, not problems, but one of the things about these types of games is that you can add as many modifiers to magic find and whatnot that you want, but ultimately having more chances of things dropping is always going to be better. So if you want to drop 5 items with a plus 1000% magic find, or do you want to drop 1000 items with 0% magic find? I'm telling you, the more items that drops, the better, always, with no exceptions. It is what it is. And even if the magic find formula and whatnot is different for PoE than other games, say Diablo games, it's still going to be better. Having a lot of items dropping, yes please. Did I deal with everything? I did deal with everything. Going to head into the buried shrines. I'm going to stay here on the waypoint probably, and hopefully remember what happened. Okay, thank you very much. Until next time.